Welcome, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Medicus Deletius, and this is the second story of Jade Empire. No commentary involved.
Looks like you've smashed all your enemies around here. We need to find someone else to fight. Let's go back to your camp at Tien's Landing. Use that flying machine to go to the Imperial City. They have plenty of wine and plenty of fighting.
Minister Sheng has very little to say. Perhaps... I am not... Yes?
If you will desist from your traitorous talk, we can speak once more about buying and selling. I have the finest selection of seed, I carry excellent baskets, wonderful fishnets, and superb boat scrubbers. I have a cloak so warm it's like a weapon against the cold. I have a scrubber so good that it cleans like magic. Who wouldn't want a basket so big you can carry 2 babies in it? Very well. When you're ready to spend, I am ready to sell.
Aha! When I saw that airship flying off from the island, I figured the best thing was to come back here. I knew you'd come back and see me, because we're a team! And what a team! I dropped you off at the pirate camp, you killed some pirates, I got drunk, you killed more pirates, and I took a nap. We are an unstoppable team, my friend! Do you know that all this adventuring and such has shamed me? I find myself dwelling on memories of my youth. I was a capable man once. I've lost so much. I've wasted so much. Yes, you have put it very succinctly. I am a drunk. That seems all I am capable of. Even you, my partner in adventure, can see that. It is good that I know my limits. I am a drunkard, and that is what I shall remain for all my days. Thank you for putting everything in perspective.
Are we certain there is no room for us to stay in Tien's Landing? Do we really need to camp outside?
The ground is soft enough for a warrior. Walls just get in the way when a fighting starts. Besides, I've yet to find a bed that fits me.
Not everyone has a hide as thick as yours.
Extra blankets? All you need is some strong wine to keep you warm at night. Hey, do you think you could find us some of that strong wine you're talking about?
Something's on your mind? Yes, I'd welcome the chance. I never really answered your question about how I tracked Gao down. It's not that bad a story if you still want to hear it. I lost the men who murdered my daughter, but there are other ways to track men besides following their footprints, something I know all too well. 8 years ago, when my wife passed away giving birth to Pin Mei, I decided to settle down. Before that, my life was less stable. You should have seen Pin Mei's mother fight. We met because we both like to operate outside the law. Not every girl likes pompous nobles or stuffy scholars. She and I saw eye to eye on many things, including living life to the fullest. You would have liked her if you'd met her, as long as she wasn't slipping through the upper window of your house to steal all your valuables. As I followed the trail of various slave trading rings, I started seeing connections. Strangely enough, all of them seemed tied to the Lotus assassins. Apparently not. They seemed to be aware of all of these slave rings, and yet they did nothing about them. I started drawing conclusions, and when I heard that Gao the Greater was dealing heavily with them, I started looking into him. By approaching it from the top down, assassins to Gao to slavers, I managed to piece together his involvement and learn the location of his base. I don't have the answer to that, though I'd very much like to know. If they support these slavers. My home was not far from Tien's Landing, so I'm certain that it was Gao's men who took my daughter. Meeting you and being given this chance to take the fight higher, I'm glad I chased that bastard down. I know. There's some peace in Gao's death, but not enough. People are still being taken as slaves, and much worse happening in this empire. I won't forget that. Always happy to help.
The way is clear to the Imperial City. You need only to speak to our mad friend Kang, and he will prepare the flyer. That is an old wound. My departure from the Lotus Assassins was not gentle for either side. My immediate companions, those who were my brothers, fell by my hand.
Lim was not among them. He would have died if he was. I was labeled as the one who deserted, and I am occasionally recognized. The result is always the same. Another death, more blood spilled. Such a waste for a hatred they cannot even understand. Regret. I have no regret for killing anyone who challenged me of their own will. Death is a measurable cost of your actions. Some earn it sooner than others. Strength is the way of things, and death is the end, or should be. Some do not respect either. They have enough of one to defy the other. Does it matter? Denying someone's strength is to place yourself above that person without merit. Denying death is to step outside the natural order. Both are harmful. I did some harsh things while with the Lotus Assassins, but they no longer follow a path I recognize. They are a mirror of Death's hand, and he embodies corruption. You will see as you get close to him. He draws out the worst in everyone and displays it for all to see. You have no concept of the devotion of his followers. Perhaps we will talk again when I see more of where your path will lead you. For now, we should make our way to the Imperial City. That is where they took your master, and where we will find the heart of the Lotus Assassins. Our enemy?
Goodbye, then.
What do you want? The Guardian wouldn't like me talking about that. He's busy now. The other is hurting, and he's keeping him inside. All the evil that has been done makes him stronger. I shouldn't say. Just by naming him, thinking of him, it draws him closer to the surface, gives him more power. The Guardian said that in all things there is balance, and for light there is dark within each of us. The other is his darkness, for the good he has to do. That's what he says. I can't talk about him. Already he hears me, and the Guardian is having trouble keeping him back. Please, don't mention him again. The Guardian is my friend. He's a part of me. But the other is a part of me, too. Sometimes they pull so hard in different ways, I can't. I try to be strong, and the Guardian gives me hope. But sometimes it's all I can do to convince me I'm still myself. Will you stay with me and keep me in myself? Thank you. I'll try not to be a bother, but the Guardian says we must stay with you. I hope you'll be my friend. Is there anything else you wanted? Okay.
Thank you again for rescuing me from those things. I owe you my deepest gratitude. Is there some way I can be of assistance? It would seem that we at last have the means necessary to get us back to the Imperial City, and for that I should be very glad. However, I must now face the greatest trial of all. My sweet wife will no doubt be waiting for me. Soon my time with the cannibals will be nothing but a fond memory. As I mentioned, I am but a simple bun master, with a dear wife who has turned my life into a miserable cesspool devoid of humor and excitement. Bless her soul. My wife ensures that I work very hard every day to become the best bun master in the Imperial City, perhaps the best in all the Empire. Though I was one of the most respected fighters in the Empire before I met my precious bride, she made sure that I became something more, or less. My loving wife would knead me into several small dumplings and boil me in hot oil if she suspected I was even speaking to you about leaving her. Life is not all bad, though. I may have lost all my dignity and self-respect, along with my ability to fight, or even make a tight fist. But I am a bun master of some renown. I would sooner return to the cannibals and offer them what little flesh is left on my bones. But let's not discuss such things, if you don't mind. Perhaps in a little while. Memories of my wife are difficult to bear, especially when she is so very far away and I may never see her again. As you wish. I will be here waiting impatiently if you require anything.
The forest was a disturbing place. Such destruction. It was horrible, even if it was mostly unseen. Now we have everything we need to follow Master Li's captors to the Imperial City. I am eager to do so after all the resistance we've encountered. Our time in the forest was very troubling to me. To see such distance between the concerns of men and spirits is something I am still getting used to. I have been sensitive to these things for as long as I can remember, but it was not always such a disturbing talent. There used to be harmony. What do you mean? It isn't arrogance. It is the natural order of things, isn't it? I sometimes wonder if I was left at the school because my abilities offended the order of things, but in the end, I found my true place with Master Li. Now that he has been taken, I fear that we will never find our way back to that simple life. Worse, I worry we were never meant to have it. I suppose that someone in your position has little choice in that regard. Everyone needs something from you. One more person just adds to the burden. Perhaps I've been looking at things the wrong way. It seems I should be more secure in myself before I reach out to others. Thank you for your time. It was not the answer I expected, but I see the use of it. Perhaps we will continue this later. Be well, my friend. I am honored that you have chosen me.
What? What do you want? Why does it matter? I was born by my mother and sucked at her teat like every man. Well, like every man does with his mother. Anyway, by the time I was old enough to swing an axe, my father was dead and my mother disowned me. Of course, killing my father might have given her reason. I think she did it out of shame. My father beat me and my brother senseless, and made our lives miserable. Either way, that was the end of my childhood. Ha! I wasn't brave, I was furious. And he was drunk. It was an easy fight. I traveled a lot after that, begging for some things and taking the rest. Tough times, but not the worst. My axes and my wits kept me alive. You'd think a 7-year-old might be an easy target, but I soon learned just where to cut a man to make him squeal like a pig. Ah, those were the days. No, we've got better things to do right now. Maybe I'll feel like talking after I've bloodied up my axes a few more times. Nah.
That's it. You have everything you need. Just let me know when you want to go, and we'll set the marvelous dragonfly to flight. Good, good. My beautiful dragonfly will finally get a real test. Let's hope those modifications hold up.
Have you seen anyone matching the description? The Lotus Assassins are getting impatient.
They were very vague and wouldn't answer my questions. Are they even sure of who they are looking for?
Does it matter? Death's Hand himself seeks this one. Do you need any more incentive than that? Just question everyone. This person apparently caused a lot of damage in the south. Here, what about this one? At least it's a man, like they said. You, identify yourself.
By order of the Emperor and the Lotus Assassins, state your name and purpose for being in the Imperial City.
I don't like your attitude. I think you are beginning to look more like the person we want.
I don't know. The shaved head and impressive build are similar. It's not enough to be sure.
We could hold him anyway. It's not a good match, but the Lotus Assassins would leave us be for a few days while they question him.
Is there a problem here, Captain? Well, is there?
No, Princess Leanne. We were questioning this traveler by order of the Lotus Assassins.
There is no need to pursue this questioning any further. You may go.
My apologies, Princess, but I was ordered to detain anyone even vaguely matching.
Captain, this man is here on a personal matter of mine that does not concern you. Do I make myself clear?
Yes, Princess Leanne.
Then unless you wish to be transferred to the wall, you will leave and continue your search. Well, we meet again. I've watched your progress. It seems I underestimated you in Tian's Landing. I have no doubt that you will make as much of an impact on the Imperial City. I understand. Our last meeting was under interesting circumstances. You may address me as Princess Leanne, the Heavenly Lily. It is, as you can see, customary to bow in my presence. I think you are a little too bold for your own good, but I suppose it is my fault. I go out of my way to avoid fawning servants. That is why I often travel without official escort and occasionally present myself as someone less bridled by the rules of the court. You understand why I don't go into detail here in the street, don't you? With what I have to tell you, I don't want to lose that option of disguise. That would be best. I trust the servants I keep, but this is best discussed away from the open street. I will not speak the location aloud. Take this note. We will meet nearby, but I must have a moment to acquire more fitting attire. That is quite enough. We will continue this at a later time. We both have questions that we will need answered. I am certain that my entourage would prefer that this take place in private. Your gruff nature is a bit too much for them. You are incorrigible. Get up, you lot. I'll be embarrassed for myself, thank you. Save your false modesty for my father's court. Don't be too long. My message concerns your master, and time is very important.
It would not have been proper for her to award it to you herself, but Princess Sun Lian requests that you accept this gift. She looks forward to your next meeting.
The Imperial City. I'd always heard how impressive it was. The stories didn't do it justice. This is all so much to absorb. I would appreciate your counsel if you have time to speak privately. We just have to keep going. That's all we can do. I've only been here as long as you have. I doubt I have any information you would find useful. I don't mean to distract you. I just wanted someone familiar around me for a moment, if only to reassure me that we are still in the Empire I thought I knew. I have long dreamed of reaching the Imperial City, but now that I have, under these circumstances, I am more overwhelmed than ever. Get tough. I am quite capable of defending myself physically. Are you suggesting I harden my heart more than it already is? I already feel like an outsider. What good is there in pointless rage? I have no desire to spend my days growing bitter over things I can't change. I appreciate what I think you're saying, but the sentiment is so harsh. I don't want to become like the people who pushed me aside. As a child, I was marked by ill omens, apparently named for them. The people in Two Rivers were polite, but many did not hide the discomfort I caused them. I was watched, studied. If someone's ox died within a season of me bumping my head, it was somehow my fault, and I was treated like a pariah. How do you deal with being able to sense the spirit world when people make such absurd conclusions? That is horrible, but I see what you mean. That is where they got their fear from in the first place, from tales of witch women and sorcerers. I did not expect this conversation to take this turn, but I still feel better. I'm not quite comfortable with it yet, but I begin to see what has made you so strong. I would like to continue this later. As always, I have much to think about after speaking with you. Don't go too far. I'd get lost in this city. I know it.
I can't believe my luck. I arrive home after being lost, only to find that my wife has gone off to visit relatives. I am very happy indeed. Instead of dying upon my return home, I am free. Until she returns, of course. We made it this far. How hard can it be from here? From what I've seen, you're more than capable of handling anything we're likely to encounter. Like many things in my life, it can be traced back to very bad luck on my part. As I mentioned once before, I was a master of the drunken master style. I was the tournament champion in Phoenix Gate when things spun out of control. My need for wine took its toll on my body. There are long periods I don't even remember. After one such period, I came to, having lost most of my clothes and all my money. I was destitute, and without the ability to buy more wine, I couldn't even fight. Eventually, I found work cleaning out creature cages at the local arena. One day, I was approached by a man who remembered seeing me fight. He offered to sponsor me. Just like that, I was back in the ring. After climbing my way back to the top of the tournament, my sponsor told me it was time to fulfill my end of the bargain. Apparently, the agreement stipulated that I must marry his niece. If only I had read the agreement more closely, I could still be shoveling dirt in the creature cages. Alas, fate had a crueler path in mind for me. Let that be a lesson for you. Always read the fine print, or you may end up with more than you bargained for. You're beginning to sound like my wife. Where were you last night? Why were you talking to that woman? Why do you smell like a goat? Always with the questions. As I mentioned earlier, after becoming tournament champion for the second time, I was forced to marry my sponsor's nubile niece. She is the reason I no longer fight. My disapproving dove did not care for my drinking, or for my friends, or my fighting, or my friends fighting. She believed I should settle down, be more respectable. At first I ignored her rebukes and continued fighting, but I soon learned that she was not a woman to be crossed. Prior to one fight, my duplicitous Daisy drugged my wine. I don't remember much of what happened next, which is fortunate. From what I hear, it wasn't very pretty. I spent the next several months under the tender ministrations of my doting wife. Needless to say, when I was well enough to walk again, I was more than happy to settle down. As to why I became a bondmaster, well, it's a hard, thankless job that keeps me very, very busy. Very busy. Not now. Memories of my wife are difficult to bear. Especially when I am here and she could be so far, far, far away. As you say, I will be here scrubbing your pots until you call upon me again.
Always happy to help. What do you need? I don't know about you, but if a member of the Imperial family were leaving me gifts, I'd be mighty curious to learn more. Then again, the Scholar's Garden is full of more hot air than some flyers, so I can understand your reluctance to rush there. I haven't been to the Imperial City in a while. I traveled here some time ago in my hunt for Gao. In fact, this is where the hunt began. I've come full circle, and I think it's time to let go of the past and look forward. We have exciting things ahead of us. There won't be much time for that sort of diversion, but I can't help see the potential. In my heart, I know my daughter rests as easily as any spirit now. Whatever happens, I have that. And if we succeed, I know she finds peace. If I could go back, I don't know if I would. I'm a different man now, and while I treasure the past, I look forward to the future with the same warmth. Never. You left out the part about accumulating vast sums of ill-gotten silver. I'm excited to be back in the city. It feels like we're one step closer to our goal, but you know that better than anyone. You brought us to this point after all. Who else could have gathered this crew or found such a quick way out of Tien's Landing? I know about your history, your heritage, but does it bother you? Is it something you wish weren't part of your life? Some would shy away if presented with your situation, but you embrace it. This city is in for quite a surprise now that you've arrived, I wager. Let's go see how much trouble we can cause. Of course. I'll be here if you need anything.
What? What do you want? Well, the city has everything you could ever want. Fighting, money, wine, and there was something else that people like, but I can't quite remember what it is. Oh, well, I'm sure it'll come to me once I've had a few bowls of wine. Let's get something to wet our tongues. Women! That's the one I forgot. I must be getting sober if I'm forgetting that one. Whatever. I remember one time I was hired by two warring clans. They were going to discuss a peace treaty, and they wanted me to make sure things didn't get out of hand. A bunch of fights broke out in the first few days, but after I'd killed a few dozen of their clansmen, they settled down. That's when things got boring. The leaders took the next 3 days to talk, and if they hadn't let me dip into their wine stocks, I might have snapped sooner than I did. The clan leaders were agreed on peace except for one thing, Jinlo, a beautiful clanswoman. Both leaders wanted her and neither would give her up. After 5 days, it looked like the peace would fall apart. It looked like the two leaders were about to come to blows over Jinlo, so I stepped in. It was my job to stop them from fighting, so I cleaved the wench in two and told them each to take a half. Seemed like a good idea at the time. They weren't too happy with my decision. Everyone turned on me. Of course, they all died, but they gave it a good effort. I don't know what they were so upset about. Better a quick death by the sword than the prolonged agony of your heart being ripped from your chest and thrown to the dogs. Not now. I'm done talking about myself. Let's go do something fun, like kill someone. Whatever.
There is something here. Some evil thing has happened here. It beats on my mind, and the Guardian, he can't hold it back.
You can't stop me from being here. I may not be able to leave, but I can talk and see. I see you, mortal. I've been watching you. I am Yasen, the other of whom Chaika and this girl speak. They have suppressed me ever since we inhabited this body, but this place is different. The evil around me has given me strength, for now at least, and has opened potential doors. I don't claim to goodness, mortal. I hate your kind. But we can work together. If you help me, I shall help you. And I'll be much more valuable than the Guardian. Bah! Who cares about her? She's just another insect. This is about what I can offer you when the time comes. What? No! Chaika! You won't make me go! No! Wo okawunir inatir nofon. Panir shakshir wowo sir nikorpak.
I'm sorry. They were fighting again. I'll be alright. Soon. Just give me time and I'll be alright. What do you want? There are spirits everywhere here in the city. Ghosts live inside of the people who remember them, just a little. Everyone has that spark. Except for me. I have no one inside of me, except for the Guardian and the other. But some of these people, the ghosts inside them cause so much pain. The ones that hurt? The spirits have such sad stories. The people don't know, though. All they understand is that they feel bad, but they don't know why. When you feel bad for no reason, you might have touched one of them. The city is old, so old, and so many people have lived and died here. There are spirits everywhere. I guess I can understand why so many of them feel so bad all the time. But we shouldn't talk about this so much. Who knows how much will draw their attention? We should keep going. Is there anything else you want? This place is evil. I don't like it here. The people, they're hurting too. A black cloud hangs over this place. Please, don't leave me behind here. Not alone. Is there anything else you want? They don't come out very much. The Guardian protects me and keeps the other inside. When the other tries to get out, it feels like my head is going to tear itself apart. I can't call them out right now. I don't think it would be safe. They are fighting again. Inside.
Wasoki parir no kasisa ir sonkot nawa patia yir ni uk. Sir si sitsufonir sisa ir nawar kuk. Okir okir wo apafawa ir wo sa ir sonkut. Okir okir wo kup thithir sunurk. Uk ipipir sa ir tatasi. Ispirta. Ok kawari sa ir tasir uyo. Newa kup kipsitir sunurk. Wanawir kup tha ir tanir uk kun aso. Sir sukut afifir noni. Oya kup tir. Okir ayuwir. Ha! You care too much for this whelp.
Ukir okir wo kup thithir sunurk. Uk ipipir sa ir tatasi.
It's time you and I had a talk, mortal. You've been paying too much attention to this girl's problems and the Guardian's advice. We need more realism here. The girl is already dead. She's a walking corpse. She's nothing to anyone. What I want is the body. I need an anchor, and this little walking meat puppet can provide that. But Chaikar gives me trouble. He's in my way. He's weak, but the girl sides with him. To take control, I need your help, and I'm willing to offer servitude for it. Why not? How long do you live anyway? I'm immortal. I have forever to get what I want. A few decades doing odd jobs for you would be worth it for my freedom.
Wanawir kup tha ir tanir uk kun aso. Si ir sukut afifir noni.
Soki parir nokasisa ir sonkot nawa patia yir ni uk.
What do you... Okay.
It's about time.
Ah, excellent. I have many items just waiting for you.
I trust your plans go well, despite the dangers you face and inflict. Is there something I can do for you? I think it's unwise to trust the Emperor's daughter. She acts without regard for her station, but she is a slave to it like we all are. What other truths might she have missed? She may have good information for you, but I suspect she has her own agenda. Be careful.
I will answer if it suits me.
They are as powerful as fear allows them to be. Not the specific information you are looking for, I'm sure, but you did ask about my feelings. If their tactics have not changed, everyone fears them as children fear the shadows, never knowing what might come.
They are not outlaws. Their orders come from Death's Hand, and he is the will of the Emperor. At least, that is how it was meant to be. Pardon my outburst. Every act of the assassins has the approval of the Emperor. We were supposed to reflect his glory. That is why some actions should never have been ordered.
The Lotus Assassins were once the Order of the Lotus under Prince Qin, spiritual advisor to the Emperor. During and after the attack on Dirge, changes were made. As flames seared the sky, enemies of the Emperor faced a new threat, Death's Hand. He assumed command of our order, and we began silencing people. Some were killed only to serve as warnings. Others had done nothing except be near his enemies. I am no stranger to death. That alone is not enough to disturb me, but I see only weakness in targeting innocents, peripheral to the real enemy. Weakness suggests losing the right to rule. Can you see how that shook my faith in the Empire? You seem to see why I had concerns. Perhaps you might understand. I have not said everything, and I have not yet decided if I will. But I see something in you that may set things right. We will see. For now, what else do you need? Goodbye.
Well, well, is the Imperial City all you expected? It is quite a spectacle compared to the bulk of the Empire. The marvelous dragonfly performed perfectly, of course. Go explore the city. I will stay here and watch over the marvelous dragonfly. I have some ideas for making her even better. Go! Have fun. I know I will. If you like, but nothing was ever built by talking about it. I've given some thought to the strange device that I was inspired to construct. I'm not sure what purpose it has yet, but it appears to be working, I think. Just a few tweaks. Tight fit. Not sure how that will affect things. What's it? I don't remember seeing that before. Just get this last. There we go. It's ready. Now we can finally find out just what it does. After I name it, of course. Nothing works right until you name it. How about the confoundable minutia? What? No, impossible. I fixed it. I checked everything. It should work. Unless... No, I did that. Oh, where'd the city go? Well, that was anticlimactic. A flash of light, but no resounding boom. What good is such a light if Earth doesn't meet sky? What? Oh my. It seems we have transported to a heaven. A strangely familiar one for some reason, but I don't recall ever moving to such a place before.
Ugh, the taste of the realm is sickening. There's something strange here.
This place is completely unknown to me. Or is it? I am compelled to take the steps this way. There are gears here that I remember.
Tie him down and let's get out of here. His amusement is no concern of mine.
Look at this. It's a marvel. A wonder of monumental proportions. A phenomenal piece of unbelievable craftsmanship. I haven't the slightest idea. But it must be important, wouldn't you think? I mean, just look at it. These machines, they are manipulators, fabricators. They bully energy into something. They can be activated, deactivated, on and off and on. You see? I can only come to one conclusion. Lord Lau's furnace.
Lord Lau. Yet another face of the celestial bureaucracy I can't stand.
Legendary, mythical, and overrated in some respects, but if anyone else has a better origin for such machines as this, I'm not hearing it. Artificer to the celestial bureaucracy, he creates machines that themselves also create, although I'd make them a little less delicate had I his resources. Still, he is an inspirational figure for inventors, and we are in his playhouse. You select the machines you want to activate, and then the tiger or the dragon button, like this. Don't worry. The individual machines are not activated. I think the switches must be thrown on at least 2 of the components before it will do whatever it does. You also have to select a fuel. It looks like there are a few pieces of cinnabar in the contraption, but it may accept others as well. Well, Judging by the pile of ashes I found near the controls, if you do it wrong, it either creates a nice warm fire or burns the person standing here to a crisp. It looks like a powerful thing, so just guessing at the possible configurations will probably get you into trouble and waste the cinnabar in the machine. So, you might want to be careful how you go about it. Things like this usually have directions. No, recipes. No, that's not it. Configurations. That's it. Very true. Perhaps you should give them a try. They didn't mean much before, but now we may have the tools to make something of them. Excellent! What an amazing machine! Now, if we can find more configurations, just imagine what we could do here. Yes, amazing indeed. Of course, without more configurations, we'll never know just what it can really do. A most intriguing place. Well, given the rather fantastic nature of the furnace, I would bet that whoever has them doesn't really know what they are for. You found one previously in an unrelated endeavor. I'm afraid that is just the kind of continued uncertainty we will have to deal with. Keep your eyes open. Very well. In the meantime, I will try to see if I can learn anything more about this interesting machine. I can always bring us back here later. Yes, yes, what can I do for you? Busy, busy. No time for chatty, chatty. Yes, yes, I am eager to return there. It is a masterful array of artful mechanics, despite being a bit overly polished. This Lord Lau, he could use a bit of restraint. No, I have not had any new insights. The best option I can suggest is just to keep your eyes open. There has to be reference to them somewhere. There were a few simple symbols on one of the larger furnace gears. I made a note of what it might translate to. Here, have a look. Yes, yes, I'll keep at my plans for the dragonfly. Perhaps a sling for carrying oxen. The industry could use some automation. A dying breed, the ox carrier.
And this is the end of this part of the story. If you liked it, hit the like button and subscribe. Medicus Delicius out.